Good evening, service crew. Fighting pilot extraordinaire Ace Windfall. Ready for takeoff. What's up, Seg? Joe, Harmonica. Hope your Wednesdays are going well. Howdy, howdy, welcome. I got my green tea with me. It's got a lemon in it. Not a lemon, it's got lemon, like the flavor in it. From when I was sick, and I got the little I got a little thing of lemon juice, then I squirted it in there. It's a lot of lemon, but it's actually pretty good. No, you guys have been good. You guys don't deserve to be in the void. You guys can come out of the void. Does it finally happen when we're finally playing Yeek? Joe, when is Yeek 1.5 coming out? Does anyone here know when Yeek 1.5 is coming out? Because I do want to... I want to at least look at it when 1.5 comes out. But, like, I don't know when that, like, happened. I don't think it has yet. I feel like I should have heard something if it did. They said before 2024. So they delayed it at least twice then, I imagine, right? That's good, though? Assuming that they don't delay it again, but who knows. I do have it. I do own Yeek. And there is a part of me that wants to experience it for myself, and I think experiencing it after the update would be interesting, especially because it's just one of those games where it's interesting. It just makes you... It's like a supernova. You know you should look away, but you just keep looking because it's so fascinating. They delayed it once to add a new chapter. Is that the... It's only the one time then? I know the new chapter, right? It's the one where there's like weird Proto-Alex that is like in a Batman costume. I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head. It's something like that where they're in like superhero costumes. Is that the one? Should wait until... Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Wait until the update. I don't want to... The launch game's interesting, but I've experienced the launch game through like hours and hours of video essays. and the Oni Plays playthrough of it. That was my first experience with it, but like after that I was just like, this is a legitimately just interesting thing. And so, you know, you just talk about it with people and you get linked like a playlist of Yeek video essays, and you just watch them all because it's just so almost, and at the same time it is, but it isn't, and it's interesting, right? Choose to stay in the void. I'm sorry about that, Seg. Yeah, the out of the 3 service crew here, there should be 4, but Seg is currently in the void. Outside the void, the hangar is nothingness, only the void. Interesting because of how so close they were to making an amazing game. Yes, right? It's just right on the cusp of being something interesting. And it veers so off track. It kind of loops around. Horseshoe theory itself. Someone is holding the camera. Oh, it's me, it's the 3 service crew, and the 4th one is holding the camera. The camera, by the way, is also in the void. That is the 4th wall. You don't know that. The 4th wall is the void. They don't teach you that in film school. I finally looked at some stuff relating to Baldur's Gate 3. Oh, is it the good moment where like you finally beat a game, and so you go to reddit.com to the subreddit and you search top of all time? I saw like a tweet relating, like, that mentioned that, and I have never related to something so hard in my life. Like, as soon as you finish something, you can just be like, okay, now I can just look at days, weeks, months, years of discourse, depending on it. You can attack in the middle of cutscenes. Ooh, what? That's like it's like D&D. Yeah, you should be able to attack during cutscenes. Just say, interrupt the speech. Stopping scripted deaths, locked doors. I guess they're not so scripted then, huh? Locked doors too? Oh, that's really cool. The Barbie movie, yeah, I saw it, was amazing. No, I didn't. I need to go see it. Is it good? Would you recommend it? I've heard that like it's like an actual like good movie, and I've heard that it has a lot of allusions to like cinema as a whole. and because marketing and very like really basic level stuff is like, oh, it's the Barbie movie, the same way as like, oh, it's the Mario movie. But unlike the Mario movie, my understanding is that like it's an actual like film with like a story and like a thesis almost. I don't know if it has a thesis or not, but my understanding is that like, yeah, like there's like an arc with like Ken and Barbie and like all this kind of stuff in it, and it's just, yeah, I guess stuff that you couldn't really approach in a PG movie you have to do in like a PG-13. You couldn't really do R because it's the Barbie movie and they wouldn't let the Barbie movie be R, right? There's two theses. There's a thesos? Is that the plural? Oh, that's cool. I need to go watch it. How much are movie tickets nowadays? $15? Thesi? That's what I meant to do. Like cacti, Thesi, that's the one. These nuts. $16. That was close. That was really close. $16 though, man. When does it come on streaming? I might just wait for it then. There's so many things I have to watch. I need to watch, I was recommended the other day, last Friday, whatever, to go watch Drunken Master. Specifically Drunken Master 2. And I looked it up. Drunken Master 2 came out in like 93. And I never asked, and I assume the answer is no, but part of me wants to anyway. It's just like, do I need to watch Drunken Master 1 to watch Drunken Master 2? Because Drunken Master 1 came out 20 years before it. And I can get Drunken Master 1 on the Roku channel. And I think it's free with ads, but I don't know. I downloaded the Roku channel because I have a Roku. That's how I watch my things, my programs, right? And I was like, Drunken Master streaming. Drunken Master 2 I don't think is streaming anywhere, but or maybe it's on Prime, which I don't have. Jeff Bezos and I are having a feud. That's a story for a different time. But like Drunken Master 1, it was like streaming on the Roku channel. I was like, I have a Roku. What the fuck's the Roku channel? I think that's also what the Weird Al movie was on. And so, which I watched that. I didn't watch it on the Roku channel. I watched that via someone else, a friend of mine. But I download the Roku channel. It just has like stuff on it. And I think it might have ads. But I'll probably go watch that at some point. I hear it's good. My only Jackie Chan knowledge is Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3. And that trilogy has like 1.25 good movies, 1.5 good movies. Rush Hour 2 was like Rush Hour 2 was a like childhood movie of mine. You know how, I don't know if this still applies. I think most of you are old enough that this applies to you, but like when you're young and you're growing up and your family has like a handful like VHSs or DVDs depending on how old you are, and it's like those like 3 to 5 to 10 VHS and DVD, those are the movies you know, and those are the ones that you watch a lot. And one of those for me was Rush Hour 2. And so like that was a child movie. And then I watched Rush Hour 1 again recently. I think I'd seen it before. I watched it again recently and I was like, oh, Rush Hour 1's like a really solid movie. It's really good. I actually really enjoy this. It's a movie. And then I watched Rush Hour 2. I was like, this is a little bit more dated. So it's like they have 1.5 good movies. I haven't seen Rush Hour 3 since theaters, which I don't remember it being good, and I've been told not to, so. The new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie? You knew someone that worked on it? Oh, cool. Like CGI or something? That's neat. How was it? Is that that's not a Michael Bay one, right? It's like a good one? That's mean. I don't want to say that. I don't know how the Michael Bay ones were. I assume they might have been fine. That's cool, though. Castle in the Sky, Cars, and El Dorado. Ooh. I gotta watch Castle in the Sky. I think I saw only like 5 to 10 minutes on like Cartoon Network as a kid. It's on my HBO Max list of like my list, right? Where you can like add movies to your list and watch them. And it's on there along with Nazca and Mononoke. Because I don't think I've seen all three of those through yet. And I know I'll like them, But for so many of the movies on my list, it's just like, because I know I'll like them, it's like, I need to be in the right mood for this. It has to be the right time of day. I may or may not want, like, depending on what I've eaten that day. Like, there's so much that goes into it, and it's just like, dang it, Ace, just sit down and start the movie. The puke effect. It's a fairly important effect in the movie. I mean, as goofy as that is, if it's a Ninja Turtle movie, that I can see that being a pretty useful effect, yeah. Portrayed Zoomers better than anything else you've seen. That's good. I like Zoomers. Typically, like, people always portray Zoomers and younger people as, like, oh, those dang kids. But I do like the idea that Zoomers are, because they grew up on the internet, they're more open with, like, how they, like, feel. I don't know, like, it's just one of those things where I always appreciate the sparkly wide-eyed generations before me, which, as I'm getting older, I have to do it more and more, because the creeping old age getting to me makes me realize that everyone is getting younger than me. It's cool, though. The ultimate Zoomers. Do they have a scene where, like, at least one of the turtles is on his phone and he's looking at, like, TikTok? I don't know how like stereotypical Zoomer they would have went with it, but I that's the only thing I want to know about the movie, because, like, I can see them, like, they're in their sewer home and they're eating the pizza and they're, like, on the phone looking at the TikTok. I mean, not TikTok specifically, because you have to have rights for that, but, like, they have phones and they're looking at short video content on the internet, right? Maybe. Okay. That's my headcanon now. If anyone ever asks me, I'm gonna pretend like I know the scene that they're talking about, and I'm only gonna reference that. Hey Ace, you see that new Ninja Turtles movie? Yeah, I love that scene when they're in the sewer home with Shredder and they're watching short-form video content on their phones. TikTok dance type stuff. Oh, that's like, they pop out and after they beat Shredder, they do the dab. That's kind of cool. I like it. I like high energy, young protagonist kind of stuff. Oh, I guess dabbing is much. That is pretty old at this point. Yeah, I was gonna say. Like, me writing a Zoomer would be like stuff like them dabbing and them saying, "Do you know the way?" Like, that's I'm very out of touch. It's the cool part. It loops back around, right? It's the whole, oh, that's what insert young people here do. That's cringe. And then you start doing it ironically and being like, look how stupid this is, haha, dab. And then, like, you're just like, yeah, that's sick, dab, and you're doing it unironically, and it's just, it's weird how that works, where it's just because you're so resistant to change, or because, like, I'm so resistant to change, that you have to hide your love of something behind, like, doing it ironically at first, and then or maybe you really don't like it, but then, like, everyone else is just doing it and it just catches on like a virus. Stuff is fun like that. By the way, speaking of things on HBO Max, I have my little Zatsu notes list, and this is one of the earliest things on here, because I think this is what made me start writing stuff down again, because I didn't want to forget this. I have a hot take that I need to, Oh, what's your one joke before I start? From the Ninja Turtles movie? Before I drop my hot take that's gonna probably get me skewered. But I need to say it, because it might change my opinions on it. Rat Dad, aka Master Splinter. It's called Shredder and Splinter, really? Rat Dad knows they want to see and be around humans, so gets cardboard cutouts. Oh! Is that basically where it's just like, now they have cardboard cutouts in their lair? That's kind of cute. of all three main famous Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, and Chris Star-Lord. Hemsworth, Evans, and I don't know his name. Look, I got Chris. Who's the third one? Whoever Star-Lord is, yeah. That Chris. That's a fun little bit. I like that. Good stuff like that. Chris Pratt, yeah, Chris Pratt. That's it. We got it. I got it eventually by having someone tell me. Thank you, Monica. Okay, but my hot take. I watched the first episode of the Chernobyl miniseries, and I think I hate it. It's like Yeek. That Yeek was a good job bringing that one up, Joe. I guess it was like Yeek. I think I hated it. I only saw the first episode, and I think I hated it. Yeah. And I tried to look online to see if someone else had this opinion of mine, and I think I'm the only one who had this, at least out of the people I saw. Because I like looked online, I was like, does anyone else like? I looked up like people's opinions, and everyone like loved it, and the people who didn't were like you know, propaganda or some bull stuff like that, or it was if it wasn't that, it was like, oh, I didn't like it because of the body horror and the mutilation, stuff like that. And I was like, I only saw the first episode. It probably gets worse later on, but generally speaking, that's not going to affect me. But I think I hated it because it was so on the nose. I don't know if that's the right word or the right terminology for it, but it was so like, it tried to make things weighty in a way that it just didn't need to be. It was very hit you over the head, right? Okay, first and foremost, this is a very minor nitpick. This isn't related to why I actually hated it, but like a very minor nitpick of mine was why were they all British? I know there was probably a BBC show or something like that, but that was just a really minor nitpick that just like really got me. It was just like it really fucked with me for a bit, but I got over that one. Outside of the fact that I think one of the dudes, like when they're in the bunker in the first episode, I only saw the first episode again, so we'll talk about that. But one of the dudes in the bunker in the first episode, his haircut doesn't look like something I would think a Russian would have. It looked like an 80s British haircut. So those are minor nitpicks, though. The thing I didn't like about it was, like I said, it just felt too like, oh, it's Chernobyl, you know, Chernobyl, that thing. Look how bad it is. The first one that got me, which I was kind of okay with, was okay, the reactor does its thing, and they're like, boss, the reading is 3.4 rads. I don't know what the measurement was, but 3.4 radiations or something like that. And he's like, oh, that's not that important. That's low level. That's fine. And then he's about to go, but boss, the meter only maxes out at 3.4, and he gets cut off. Rotogens. Rotogen, right? Yeah. Or Rontgen? Something like that. And he gets cut off, and I was like, that's so dismissive. It's probably true to a certain extent. It's probably true that their Rotogen meter only went up to like so much and everything. But the fact that he was so dismissive was just very off-putting. But if that's his character, that's kind of fine. Like if that's true that like whoever was actually running the power plant was a dick, sure. But in a movie setting, I wasn't thinking about it like as an actual event outside of the parts where it was just like really hit you over the head. It felt more like it was because it was trying to be a movie. It wasn't trying to be documentary-esque. It was trying to be a movie, and it was portraying like the dude who was running the power plant as like just so one-dimensional cardboard cutout of just like no, yeah, that's fine, but sir, the meter only goes up to 3.4 wattage. It's fine. That's fine, that's okay. That was only one nitpick, and then it kept going, and then another bit that was just like hit you over the head, like, you know what this is. They were all it shows like the people of Pripyat, right? Not Chernobyl, Pripyat. they're like all gathered around and they're watching like the pretty colors at the power plant. And someone's like, "Oh, what are the colors?" And it's like, "Oh, the colors do this." And it's like, "Okay, like sure, they're watching colors, but we know they're getting irradiated, right?" Yeah, I think it's the bridge then, wherever they're looking at everything. And I was like, "Okay, that's fine." But then at the end of that scene, for some reason they have like a minute long, just like it shows like the wind blowing and it shows like the trees in motion. And like it has like this spooky music, and it's like I know, I get it. They're getting irradiated. But it was just so the way that they added that little bit, where it was just like, look at how spooky this is. They're getting irradiated. Ooh, they don't know it yet. Just so like, it's like when I get hit over the head with a wrench, right? It's just like, you don't need to do that. I know what's going on. I know what happened. I know what Chernobyl is. And then like, I think the point wasn't just that it's them. The wind is going past them. I mean, I get it still, but it's just so hit you over the head with it. Like it's, and then like later on they go to, I actually really like this part. Actually, as much like things I didn't like about it, I did like the one scene. They're in the bunker, everyone's there. And then there's the frail old man, and we've seen movies before. We've seen things before. By the way, hi Torn. I didn't say that. Hi, what's up, Michael Phone? But they're in the bunker. We've seen movies before. Old decrepit man gets up and he's about to speak, and you're thinking in your head, you're like, oh, you know, the old timer goes up to speak. He's gonna say something that will rally the troops and it will fix everything. And he rallies the troops under the banner of communism and to go and like lock down the city. I actually love that part. That was actually great, because that was like a good example of like, I know where the scene is going. Oh, but he's a bad guy. Like that was, I laughed at that part. We have to lock them down for their own safety. I was like, oh sure, that's fine. It was cute. But then like they go and they have the dude get like the bigger meter, and he goes and gets it, and he tries to examine it. He comes back and he tries to tell his superior again, and he's like, you know, yeah, the meter immediately died. So I went to the fire department, I got their meter, and immediately maxed out. And the dude who runs the power plant is still cardboard cutout, not a character, just like, no, you're lying, this can't be real, you're lying. And then he vomits and passes out, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't. Please tell me it gets better. Please tell me, like, it was so cardboard cutout and hit you over the head. And I want in my heart of hearts that it's just like that first episode's bad and it just gets better. The first episode's pretty weak. Okay, good. I like this. Because there isn't a single good person in it. I mean, the one who was like with the meter is kind of good. It does tease that is the one thing, which is why I'm asking. Like at the end, it teases the one dude where he's like, he gets the phone call and they're like, the reading was 3.4 autogens, which isn't bad. And he's like, actually, no, that is pretty bad. You should do. And then they like hang up on him before he can do anything. It's like, okay, that's our protagonist. I understand. I know this. I get this. But like, it was like maybe with him behind the wheel, I can like get behind him as a character and be like, yeah, let's make this a little bit better than a disaster, and just make it. We'll turn this Chernobyl into a 3 Mile Island, even though it is Chernobyl. The worst part is this is what the guy did as far as the records go. I mean, yeah, I guess that is the thing, is like, it probably is true. And it's just like, man, I couldn't, it was right in line between like documentary and like film, but it was shot so much more film-like that him being so cartoonish drew me out of it, which is weird because I like cartoon villains, but I like cartoon villains in cartoons, not in real life. And so I think that's what kind of fucked with me. The scientist and the government dude, who are the main people doing the stuff in the show. Okay. So I'll give episode 2 a try then and see how I like that. There's a lot the show gets blatantly wrong. Ooh, that's a little iffy. But it's mostly about who died. That's kind of fine then. As long as it can like get a better just overall feel, I guess, in the second episode. I'll go and I'll give it a try and see how it holds up. The show claims at the end a lot of people that died that didn't. But that stuff doesn't. Yeah, but that stuff doesn't actually have anything to do with the show. Okay. Got it. Yeah, I'll give episode 2 a try then and see, and we'll reconvene at some point in the future, and I'll say I liked episode 2. It's great, and then we'll every Zatsu, I'll tell you my thoughts on one episode of Chernobyl. The court scene at the end. Ooh, I do like a good court scene. Like, I was sold on it as being a procedural, which there are bits of in the first episode, but it's a lot of, like, it's setting up, right? It's setting up the situation in the first episodes, and then after that, when you get into the cleanup and, like, the courtrooms and the hearings and all that stuff, that's when it gets the procedural, and that's, I guess that is what the good stuff is. Saw none of why the reactor exploded in the first episode. I know it exploded. I guess, yeah, I guess it will go into, like, not only cleanup, but also, like, the hearings and, like, the 5 whys. I don't know if you've ever had to do, like, failure analysis or like, anything like that. If you've ever had to have, like, some job in any field like that, but, like, any failure analysis and, like, why did it happen, why did it happen, that kind of stuff, and it just goes down the line. Should not be able to explode. That was a line that they even say. It's like, yeah, no, this shouldn't explode. What do you mean explode? That's not how this works. Interesting. Yeah, because they think it's a terrorist. One of the like ideas they have is like, oh, it's a terrorist plot. Because, like, how else could it have exploded? It doesn't make sense, right? Every stupid thing that went wrong. Ooh, dominoes. I do like a good set of dominoes. Okay, you sold me. You sold me. I'll check it out. I'll give it another test. But outside of that, the other stuff I've been watching on, like, Max. So for those that don't know, I was sick over the weekend. I'm like 95%, like, better now. I got, like, the sniffles every so often, but, like, starting I had a sore throat on a Friday, which I had a collab that same day. I powered through it. Consummate professional, Ace Windfall. And then the next day it was in... Have you ever, like... When was the last time you guys looked in your throat, by the way? Because that was something I did on Friday. Because I was like, my throat feels a little itchy and, like, it makes it hard to swallow. And so I did the thing where you just... Just open your mouth as wide as possible. Stick your tongue out as far as possible. Take your phone, turn on the flashlight, and just, like, look in there. I get vor fetishism now. I'm kidding. But, like, it was cool. It was really bloody and inflamed and stuff. So I was sick. And so while I was sick then, I just, like... I took my pilot jacket off and swapped it for a nice comfy robe. I got a nice blanket and I sat on my couch and I watched the Lord of the Rings extended editions all over the weekend. And I gotta say, Two Towers is still the best of the 3. It's not even close. Actually, it is close. All 3 of them are really good. But I'm such a simp for the Battle of Helm's Deep. It's such a... It builds up, like, 1.5 movies to get there. Fellowship is great. It's just pure... It is D&D. Fellowship is literally D&D. I love watching the... when they're at the door, speak friend and enter. And it's like, that's D&D. They're stuck in front of a door because they don't know the riddle. Like, that's D&D. It's beautiful. It's so adorable seeing it. And everything that's happens. And over the time, I've grown to love Boromir as a character. And I like, get it, right? Like, the first time I watched it, I was like, Boromir is alright. He kind of sucks. And then, like, I read online. Like, I could get into Lord of the Rings discourse after I watched it the first time, like, 2 years ago. And I was like, oh my god, Boromir, I'm so sorry for him. D&D literally is Lord of the Rings. That's the thing, right? Like that, Gary Gygax in his basement made D&D. Like, they're called halflings because he couldn't legally call them hobbits because Hobbit is copyrighted by Tolkien. Like, everything in D&D is from Lord of the Rings, basically, with like a handful of exceptions, and obviously the newer stuff. Like, the Beholder is D&D's like baby because that's actually unique to D&D. But like, I love looking at like original D&D too, like AD&D, because like it's so interesting. Because like the wizard in AD&D, to become a wizard in AD&D, just like Gandalf is like a super powerful wizard in the Lord of the Rings, to be a wizard in AD&D, I think it's a wizard, right? It's either wizard or it might be druid or something. You have to do like, you have to like reclass 5 different times, right? Just to really hit like that power scale, right? Yeah, they had to change hobbits because obviously Tolkien's estate would not allow that. Need to rewatch them. I ought to watch them with the roomie. Watch them once in high school on VHS. Oh, you gotta rewatch them then, Torn. On VHS, I assume there wasn't even the extended editions. You gotta carve out some time for those though. You gotta be like sick or doing nothing for 4 hours at a time. But if you got the time, do it. If you don't, the theatricals are still pretty good. I've watched them. I've only watched it 3 times total. I watched it for the first time like 2 years ago. That was I started with the extended. And then earlier this year, like in January, I watched the theatrical for the first time, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good still. And it's actually kind of nice because they are shorter. And then this most recent one, I watched the extended again because, you know, I was sick over the weekend and I had nothing to do for long periods of time. And it's nice because like if you have no like acknowledgement about Lord of the Rings, theatrical is good to start with because of that. But after you've watched it a few times, you can appreciate the extended editions a little bit more. I even if any of you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw me live tweeting. I think I was live tweeting the Two Towers, right? And I did the hi Rain or hi Rain Shah. Enjoy your lurking. But oh shit, where was I? Like it's just so. I legitimately lost my train of thought. Shit. Oh yeah, after you watch it a few times, you can really appreciate the extended editions because like it just has so much more, and you can just really get into the world a little bit more. Like the what are like good scenes that are like cut out, and you're like, yeah, you need those. Fellowship doesn't have much, unless I'm trying to think. I don't actually know what they added and cut out in the extended. I probably can't have this conversation as well because I haven't watched them that much, but it's just so good. Like on the most recent watch, I finally realized something in the Two Towers. There's a scene where there's a horse that's just going like haywire and going crazy, and Aragorn comes and comforts him and is like, shh, shh, what is your name? Brego, that is a kingly name. And he lets the horse go. It's like, this horse is not fit for what we need to do. Free the horse, let him go. And then Aragorn gets shot, tumbles off a cliff, and is like on the brink of death. And a horse comes up to him. And that's Brego, that's the horse he let go. I didn't realize that the first like few times I watched it. In the most recent watch, I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? That's a pretty big deal. The first time I watched it, I was just like, oh yeah, Aragorn's horse came for him, nice. And now I realize like, oh, that's not Aragorn's horse, that's the horse he let go. It came back to him. That's a cool detail, right? And like just so many little cute things like that where it's like set up, payoff. So good. I want my favorite book series to get that kind of movie treatment. Oh my god. I think everyone wants that. It's so well done. It really is just a timeless trilogy. Be like 20 movies for the Brandon Sanderson one, I assume. The normal versions, they're pretty good though. I still stand by that. If you don't have the time to watch the 4-hour versions, the extended editions, the theatrical is fine, and it's very good. If you're ever watching, also if you're ever watching it with like someone who has never seen it for the first time, I would recommend the theatrical just because then they don't have to sit there for 4 hours. Because that was the experience that I had. I was actually showing it to some friends of mine back in January, and it was because Netflix only had the theatricals, I think, because we watched that. And I was like, it's nicer. You don't have to sit for 4 hours. You only have to sit for like 2.5. I think. That sounds about right. Yeah, Stormlight Archive, that's it. Current 4 books is 40 to 50 hours long in the audiobook format. What's Lord of the Rings for reference? I guess it depends. If it's 10 books, because yeah, I'd say compare that, because Lord of the Rings is 3 books, but they're pretty thick books. Might not be 10. One of the books is longer than all of Lord of the Rings. Oh, that's pretty long, yeah. That would be like 20 movies. Is Stormlight Archive the one where... This is a spoiler for Stormlight Archive, I think. I saw a D&D meme once where someone talked about, like, the DM was like, okay, for this last boss battle, instead of hit points, we're going to be using your hit points as, like, exhaustion, as, like, your stamina. And when you run out of stamina, you get hit. Because this enemy can kill you in 1 hit, okay? And everyone was like, yeah, okay. And then the bad guy pulls out like a blue blade that's like glowing and shimmering. And I was like, I don't know what this means. And I looked in the comments and someone was like, oh, this is actually a spoiler for like a book series where like the blade can like sever people's souls from their bodies or something like that and give them like true death. I don't know if that was Stormlight Archive or something, but I remember reading that one time. Shard blades. Also, they aren't a spoiler. Good. Okay. The first parts of the first book. Okay. Again, I read this on Reddit like 5 months ago or something, and it just stuck in my head as like, oh, that's a thing. As a hee look at this type of thing. And it just severs the soul from the body. That's not very hee look at this. That's very like that does seem like a pretty that's like higher up than like a lightsaber as far as this can kill you. Like a lightsaber is like a hee look at this. A black blade that lets out black smoke. It might have been that. No, it might not. I don't know. It was something from that. Black blade that lets out black smoke is pretty... There's probably more to it, but... It was that party was fucked. It might have been that. Because whatever it was a spoiler, but it might have just been shard blades then, something like that. I just remember that. Stormlight Archive maybe remember that from like forever ago. By the way, how's my mic sound? I keep worrying about that, and I keep asking. I need someone to tell me. I gotta. By the way, yeah, that's the title of the thing. I got a new mic, and I think I like it, but I'm not sure if it sounds different. And also, I'm very conscious about like if I'm clipping the audio. I have a compressor on that's like supposed to stop it from like clipping. But like, I don't know. I know very little. I added like an equalizer. I added like a high pass and a low pass. I just did what the internet told me to, and I listened back on it. And I was like, this sounds different. I don't know if this sounds better, but this sounds different. I didn't notice anything with the sound. That's good. That's good then. The main reason I wanted to get one. It was I had sick brain and I saw that it was on sale, and so I impulse bought. But the other reason is that this is a condenser mic, whereas before I had a dynamic mic, which I don't like microphone names because in my head they should be the other way around. Because a condenser mic can pick up sound a lot more dynamically, I think. And a dynamic mic picks up sound a lot more like flatly. Strangely enough, my understanding, I could be completely lying. If there's any audio files in the room, please feel free to explain further. But my big issue with the other one though was I like my dynamic, the old one I had. My only issue with it is that I had to max out the gain on my what is this thing called? My mixer, my oh, what is this? My Audient. What are you? Audio interface. There we go. I got it. I'd like max out the gain on my audio interface to get like sound, and then I had to like add additional gain in OBS to like get up to what like the typical like good, well, like the typical like good in that yellow range of like sound. Whereas on this one, I'm sitting comfortably without any additional OBS gain and at like, let me get up, 85% gain, so I can like go louder if I want to, or I can go softer and just using the audio interface. Like I can actually use that knob. It's cool. So that's nice. So I like that I can do that now, and it's good at like it can pick up sound theoretically better. I guess the one thing is though that it might sound weird because maybe because the thing is with like a condenser mic, you have to be a more because it is like a more sensitive. You have to like soundproofing is more important, and obviously we're in a hangar, and so the soundproofing's a little. I put up cardboard, and we're in like a nice right, like that's the cardboard walls behind us. So like we don't have the echo or anything, right? But like I don't have anything like else that like could soundproof. I don't know if that would actually make any noticeable difference though. But it's cool. Probably mess with that a little bit more and mess around with it, see what the equalizer settings are. I learned a little bit about like box frequencies or all the little like wave that pops up and everything. It's really cute. I don't understand it at all. But it's really neat that some people just like, that is their life. So much stuff in Stormlight Archive that I don't know how it would fit into a normal live action movie. It probably can. It's one of those things where it's almost impossible to make a good adaptation like Dune, right? 80% of Lord of the Rings was filmed at places that actually look the way they did. You can't do that with Stormlight Archive because a lot of it's in space or in like weird places like that, I assume. Kind of like Doom. No, nothing like that. Oh, really? It's a planet nothing like Earth. Oh, okay. So it's like, it's the same way that it's really hard to do like Lovecraftian things, because however you interpret it as the reader is unique to you, kind of a thing. And there's no way that you can like match that. Ferns can move when... Wait, what? You know how ferns can move when touched so that they don't get damaged? They roll up. No, I didn't know that. What? Like tumbleweeds? All plants in SA do that. Grass pulls into holes in the stone ground. What the fuck? That's kind of cool. And the entire series is set on that one planet. With all the weird, like, nuances and rules and everything. Cool. Well, maybe one day in the far future, when we colonize space, we'll find a planet like that, and we can just film it there. Shooting on location is typically cheaper, after all. Crustacean. They carnicized. They evolved into crab. Hell yeah! I love that. I love carnicization. The idea that crab is the ultimate form, and that we will all evolve into crab one day. Hell yeah! Look at that dude. Look at that boy. Oh, he's wearing a little hermit crab. Hermit on the hermit crab. What will he do? Oh, that's cute. That's just a Tarisk. Or a Tarisk. It's the D&D thing. Well, that sucker does not look inviting. What's up, Ben? Good morning, good morning. Hope your Wednesday, or I guess morning for you, so Thursday is going well. We're just sitting back chatting. We were talking about Chernobyl, the miniseries. We were talking about Lord of the Rings and such. Speaking of movies, oh my god, wait. This reminded me. I saw... Oh, how did this work out? How did I don't know where my train of thought got me to, where I Googled this. But there's like that like... There's the movie of Mice and Men, right? Which some people have to like read in school. The book of Mice and Men. You know, with Lenny and everything. I never had to read it in school. I never watched the movie or anything like that. Something happened though where I had to like Google of Mice and Men for something. And like if you go, yes, okay, I just Googled it now. If you Google of Mice and Men movie and you scroll down to audience reviews, the top audience review of Mice and Men, of Mice and Men, 1992, by Ed Jackson 3 years ago is this. Playing a match in Mario Tennis Aces is like challenging someone to an arm wrestle and a staring contest simultaneously. Muscling your opponent around the court with clever shot selection and proper baseline positioning during a rally is as essential as ever. But it's the layer of fighting game-inspired mechanics applied on top that adds unblinking tension and strategy to each and every point you play. And just like, for some reason, Ed Jackson 3 years ago decided to put a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish. I don't know. They put a 5-paragraph review of Mario Tennis Aces instead. I think it's a meme though, because the very next review is by Jackson S. a year ago. So the last time I watched Toy Story must have been 20 years ago. So I decided to give it a watch again. Wow, the nostalgia really made my head spin like a rusty broom. Just like one was just like weird. It's trolling, right? It's like the same as like Steam reviews. When you go and you put on like, oh, Dark Souls, it's a family friendly game or something like that. But two is a pattern, right? Rusty brooms. Your rusty broom doesn't spin. No, that one tracked. That one I understood that one. The third review is normal. The adaptation of a comic novel is one that stands the test of time, I think. Yeah, that looks pretty normal. The fourth is, I thought it was a masterpiece at first. I thought Cuba Gooding Jr. playing Wario was a little bit weird, but his performance grows on you. Like, where did... Jerry Seinfeld voicing Barry B. That's a different review. Why is Of Mice and Men just have these reviews? Thought the film could have done with a few more cameos, but Andrew Garfield coming back as Spider-Man was awesome. Is this just a thing on Google reviews? Wait a minute. Someone give me a movie. Lord of the Rings movie. That's the most obvious one. Where are my Google reviews? Of Mice and Men, 1992, on Google.com. More audience reviews. Okay, this is for Lord of the Rings. Those are real. These are all real. Like, why Of Mice and Men? I don't get it. Is there like... 3 years ago, did someone who owns like a moderately successful YouTube channel make like a joke that said, let's go review, not review Bomb, but just like review Load, the Of Mice and Men 1992 film adaptation? That's such a weird specific thing, right? Maybe he's using like a notepad? I don't. No, that that doesn't make sense, Ben. Because it's more than one person. It's multiple people. Ed Jackson, Jackson S, Eric Forsyth, Pappy Jonk. Who the fuck? Pappy Jonk. Xander B. These are real people. Maybe, I don't know. They just where do they come from? 74 audience reviews, and at least 5 or 6 of them are like actual like. I don't know where they came from, man. Oh, Sherilyn Fenn is in Of Mice and Men. She was in Twin Peaks. That's a ooh. Thank you, Of Mice and Men 1992 movie Google results for giving me a segue. We're playing the Twin Peaks game tomorrow. There's a cool like haunted PS1 demo disc. I don't know if you guys know about those things. I don't. I've only heard the term haunted PS1 demo disc, which I guess is like, to me it's like a game jam or something like that. It's like, that's just a word for people find games on them. Yeah, haunted. That's like, I don't know if it's like a publisher. Not really a publisher. It's like, actually, let's find out together. Haunted PS1 demo disc. What is this? Is a series of video game compilations curated and published by Irish video game developer Brogan Hackett. I don't know. I don't speak Irish. I'm sorry. So I think it's just it's like a compilation thing. It's like, you know how game jams are a thing, and it's like, oh, this is from the Triple X game jam, right? It's probably the same thing. Haunted PS1 demo disc is an annual series. Oh yeah, okay. It's like that. Video game series is an annual series of compilations released through the Haunted PS1 brand, with the first release in February 2020. Okay, yeah, so it's like a brand thing. Like that one Pokemon cartridge, like the shark thing? Wait. I understand the Pokemon cartridge one. We mean like the shark thing. Just leave people confused and unheard. I guess, yeah, the Of Mice and Men thing is kind of a prank. A haunted shark disc? I don't understand what that one is. Or is like a shark thing, is that one of the list of haunted PS1 games? I guess it's just a brand, Haunted PS1. Do I know any of these? A Place Forbidden, Dead Heat, Effigy, Filth Breed. These are just band names. Neko Yume, Ode to a Moon, Sauna 2000. Oh, I kind of want to look at that one now. Fiend's Isle, sorry. Janitor Bleeds, Mummy Sandbox, The Drowning Machine, Torye 3D, Job, Mortal Meal, Mothered, a role-playing horror game. Yeah, I guess it's just like a game jam kind of a thing where it's just like people release it as a compilation. The shark is a cheat sheet. Oh, okay, you mean like the Game Shark then? Yeah. No. These are so yeah, I think Haunted PS1 demo disc is just like a brand basically. And so tomorrow we're playing a game that I guess is tangentially related. Like maybe it's published, air quotes published, by them, because it's just on itch.io. And it's about the Twin Peaks series. I want to see Yu-Gi-Oh teaching Ash and other Cartoon Network characters how to play cards. What? I guess. How long is it? Okay, yeah. Let me set. Bump. Compilation of commercials. Is this like the boop. Is this like you know it used to be like was it the WB or something? Like some early morning cartoon. Maybe it was Fox. Like they would do the mix mashes of commercials where it's like King of the Hill talking with like Yugi, King of Games, and that kind of stuff. Mom came in a room, put box in the closet. Ooh. Well, she just touched it. She didn't open it, right? Holy shit! I took a sip. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for the. Holy shit! I know these characters. Jackie Chan Adventures.
Such as when to play a trap card, how to read your opponent's mind, or how to style your hair. Let me help you with that. There you go. Like, thanks. All will be revealed. So don't miss Yugi's Dueling Tips and Tricks training camp this Saturday, beginning at 8, 7 Central and Pacific on Kids WB.
Get ready.
That's exactly this. I kind of love this. I know it's official. This is exactly what I was talking about with the whole like they would just combine cartoon characters. Are we back? Is it my internet or the stream that just died? Dead R inclusive 4. I love that. Just like, is it X or Y? Yes. It's like, motherfucker, that didn't answer the question. It did. I think it only happens when I'm like on the internet during stream. That's weird that it happens. It disconnects OBS and then I try to like restart it and like it hits me with like you have to like I actually have to close OBS and reopen it back up to do it. Yeah, you're right. This isn't the true there we go. Now we're on the Saturday morning cartoon.
Should I play Karibo?
No.
That's what I'm thinking because I'm streaming. But that doesn't make sense though.
Charizard, I choose you.
Like, because it happened now and it happened during the Blue Archive stream, which is I had to download Blue Archive, right?
Yugi's Dueling Tips and Tricks training camp right here on Kids WB.
So it's like I'm downloading one, like watching this video or like downloading Blue Archive is like downloading, but I'm uploading. I guess those aren't different things, but you would think that like they would be. But also additionally, I have fiber. Like what?
Up next, my Dueling Tips and Tricks training camp continues.
I have good.
It's part 2 of the brand new Yu-Gi-Oh event, Tag Team.
In all honesty though, it's only happened twice and it's only when I try to like watch or download stuff at the same time. So I think overall like it's whatever. I might have to never look at YouTube videos again. Well, no. I was about to say I should never look at YouTube's videos again, but we watched like Arknight stuff on YouTube before and it doesn't happen. I don't know. I hope that doesn't happen again. That kind of sucks. Very rare that it happens. It's happened. So it's only twice in the many streams I've done. Put the music back on. There we go. That's what I'm saying. We've sent vids, but you've sent vids before. It's only happened twice. Once during downloading Blue Archive, which there were a lot of things going on there, and so I'm gonna blame that on Blue Archive. This one I don't specifically know. Oh, Harmonica, you spelled it hanger with like an ER. You said that earlier, and I didn't know what you were talking about. I thought you were talking about like hungry and anger together. Because I learned it today, like hanger is spelled with an A for what we have going on here. Hanger with an E is like the coat hanger, I think. I didn't know what you meant for a second when you said the hanger is stuff. Yeah, here, let's maybe that's what we have to do. We have to go walk in the void for a little bit. Just there we go, that's better. There we go, that's better. Look at that. Get the bad internet out of here for a little bit. It's all nice back here. I just smacked my mic. I wonder if that picks up. I have a like. A shock absorber? It came with a shock absorber too, so I don't know how oh, that looked like it picked up. The vibes. Just felt something touch your leg. No! What do you mean there's something in here with us? No. No, there should only be the 5 of us, the 4 of us and the cameraman, right? No, what do you... Oh no. I just felt a touch my leg too. We gotta get out of here! And... Oh, okay. Oh, we're back. Yeah, the void's scary. We shouldn't do that. It's kind of nice, but then you know, that's where the madness goes. That's where the Lovecraftian gets you. Zooms in. I'm so scared. Oh shit! No. Ah! There we go. It's really hard to control that sometimes. I hit all the buttons at once. There we go. We're fixed. Have not seen the Blair Witch either. That's something I should probably watch. Though I don't know how well that will hold up compared to some other stuff. It's probably solid though. As the grandpappy of all horror films. Oh, Harmonica, you're back. I forgot you got swept away in the darkness. How's the plane coming along, you think? Yeah. That's a plane, alright. It's looking pretty good. What darkness? Oh, the darkness of the void. I guess there is no darkness in the void, but it's coming along pretty nicely though, if I gotta say. You guys are doing great work there, I assume. She is a beaut. From that other just checks. Guys, I think Harmonica is kind of you're acting a little sus there, Harmonica. Dare I say it? You might be an imposter. We gotta vote him off now. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Oh, speaking of my Blue Archive stream. No, Wayne. I'm not sus of base. Too late. I'm cringe. You're sussed. Every other service crew member is based. I don't make the rules. I mean, I do, but speaking of Blue Archive, I've been playing that a little bit on my off time, and I think I mentioned it yesterday. It's really nice that you can just like hit a button and farm everything in like 2 seconds. I wish there were like more interesting characters that I could like actively. I guess I'm waiting for like pickup banners or something. I don't want to like. I don't like that they as a comparing Blue Archive to like Arknights, right? Arknights feels better. But again, I'm like a year into Arknights. It was just really weird that there was. I don't think when you start an Arknights account, you get like a banner that you get to do like a free 10 pull or something like that on, and you get a free 5-star and a 6-star from it, right? You don't get that in Blue Archive, but you can pay money to get it in Blue Archive, which I think is just really weird. Outside of that, you know, you just do like the missions and you unlock bits and pieces. And there's a lot in it. I'm currently at like, the one thing I will say, and I don't know if this is because I started during an event or what, but I'm like constantly capped out on like the energy. I think it's called AP in that game. The energy. I'm at like 999 out of like 90 at like every single moment at the moment. I think it's getting better because I can actually like farm. So I'm going down, but there was an issue where I couldn't like even get rewards from like the cafe because I was just so maxed out on everything. Which I'm glad I have the cafe now. I can actually like raise my affection, like the trust in Alligate. And I can eventually get my Kana live 2D art. That is true. Usually, you usually do get a lot of the play fuel. Like in Arknights, you level up pretty quickly through the first couple levels. And so you can just get a lot of the energy, because they want you to keep playing. But I don't think I ever maxed out in Arknights, whereas in Blue Archive, I was just permanently maxed out for like the last week. Certainly maxed out. What is that? What did you mean by that? I don't know what that means. I feel like... Oh, you watched the early streams. Was I maxed out then too, or is that like supposed to mean something else too? I'm definitely feeling it like the last couple weeks though, just because it was, or the last week though, because it was sitting at 999, and you would get like AP from like doing missions, and it would be like, it's too full, we're gonna throw it in the like the mailbox. And I think I have a screenshot of like me at 999 energy with like 4 different mailbox like receipts for more AP that I could like cash out when I needed to, but they only lasted like a day. Same way of going over the cap. Is the cap in Arknights 999? Or do they even have a cap? Can you go higher than that? Because if so, then that's kind of why it's nice, is that you can just go over the cap and it's all fine and dandy. Yeah, for Sandy. Is there a cap, or is it... No. I know there's a soft cap for like how we'll regen. The cap increases you level... Oh, really? Like if you're level 1, you pop like 10 sanity potions. Like you might cap out. Whereas if you're like level 120, you can like keep going. Because I know there's the soft cap. Yeah, I meant above the regen cap. That's specifically what I was talking about. Above the regen cap. Okay. I know you can get 3 digits. I don't know if you can get 4. But doing that's fun. It's interesting that it plays a lot like Alice Gear, which is my other gacha game that I play. In that there's like a really simple like 3 to 4 elements that they each like, it does, you know, use red against red, blue against blue, etc. It's very like simple. Like the gameplay is very, I don't want to say generic, that almost has like a negative connotation to it. But it's very just like, I just sit back, relax, and I hit the button every so often. Like I don't have to think about it that much, which is kind of nice as like a brain dead thing. It's just weird though that like Alice Gear is like, I feel like it is more stable. Blue Archive is like newer, but like Blue Archive takes forever to load, I've noticed, and for some reason Blue Archive just does not play with BlueStacks well. Like it will just keep crashing, everything like that. So it's all kinds of just everywhere there. Maybe they'll fix that. Maybe they've already fixed it. Maybe I'm just using the wrong like things, but it feels very unoptimized. But at the end of the day, it's a free game that I'm probably not going to throw money into, so I can enjoy it for that. Why are you brain dead? Is it because of the void? I'm so, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. This stuff's good. My green tea with my lemon. I'm getting, I think at the bottom, because I have not been stirring this up. I started up at the very beginning. I think it's mostly lemon at the bottom now. Because I think it probably is like less dense than the green tea. I don't know. It's really good. It was really good though. Good idea, Ace. Got the lemon, I got the honey. I never had honey before. I don't think I've ever had honey before, except in like Honey Nut Cheerios, technically. So when I went to the store, I had to do like 2 laps around it because I was like, I know what honey looks like. It comes in a little bear bottle. It's like orange. It's like amber colored. I had to do laps to find it. When I did, there were 2 types. There was the wildflower, and then there's the lily. I think it's that. There's wildflower and there's the other one. And the other one is like the one that most people get because it's like lighter and it's better for teas and everything. And the wildflower is like the darker one. It's a little bit stronger. It's got more kick to it. But I just went with the bear bottle, which was the lighter one, because that's the one I know. And it's just sweet nature. I had always like had ideas of what honey looked like because you always see it in like movies or cartoons or any media, and it's just like you see it in those commercials where it's like the like golden liquid flowing like almost like pancake syrup because it's, you know, same consistency and everything. And I tried it, I was just like, it's like I'm eating like sweet grass or something. It's got that same like earthy but sweet like taste to it. It's kind of nice. It's really good. It's really good for your throat too. It was really good, and I tried it with... The main reason I did it is so I could do lemon and honey together with hot water and make like a lemon honey like tea. Technically it's not a tea, but it's just lemon honey with hot water. Which was alright. I think the recipe I used double the honey, like 2-to-1 honey to lemon ratio, which I think I would probably want to cut that down to 1-1. Because I think the honey taste was a little bit too overpowering. But that was good. And then I used the honey with my peppermint tea yesterday, which it was kind of nice. It gave it a little extra sweetness kick. I don't think I'll always do it, but it's like, ooh, when you're feeling fancy, you get to throw that in there, get some sugar. And I used the lemon today in my green tea. Because I've had lemon green tea before. I had a few like tea bags that already had like little bits of lemon in it with the green tea, and so it's like, oh, I know I will like this, and I do. It's nice, and that's apparently antibiotic. So go to your store, get your fruits and veggies, kids. You need them. They're good for you, antioxidants and stuff. All right, I got one more thing. I went to the baseball game the other week. That was fun. I got to go and root for the home team. It was super duper hot. I remember when I went. What team? That's Classified. It was very fun though. Super duper hot. I remember I went with a friend and we like... What was the enemy? Ooh, smart. Also Classified. But it was fun though. They both slugged it out. I don't know if you pay attention to sports, but like something that I noticed that this was the second game I went to this year. And before that, I don't remember when the last time I went to a game was. But they added something, I think it was this year as they started it. They added the the pitch clock, which is they have like 30-ish seconds from when they get to the mound to throw the pitch, which is supposed to like keep the game going and keep it like at pace. And it works. It works. Like the game is over in like roughly 2-ish hours, and it's just like, ooh, that's fun. You know, you go in at the top of the third inning because you took too long at the pizza place before the game, because you got roped into a conversation. There's like an entire story there. Yeah, so I went with a friend, and I like was like, oh hey, before the game, let's go get some pizza. And so we went to a pizza place, and like as we're walking to the pizza place, a group of like 4 to 5 people like get in front of us like a block before the pizza place. And I'm just thinking like, oh yeah, you know, group people, it's a nighttime, people are out and about, like bars, pizza place, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, sure, they're in front of us, and they walk into the pizza place before us, and I'm like, motherfucker. So the 4 or 5 of them have to go and do their order first, and all of them like order separately, and like it takes like so long for all of them to go through. And while that's happening, because they're like up at the counter like paying, we're a little bit further behind the counter, there's like a group of like 3 to 4 like older like people in like their 40s that are just like talking. And I guess they went to the ball game the day before, and you know, they were just talking, and they kind of roped us into the conversation, and we started talking about baseball. And they're like, yeah, the home team is really doing like not so great this year. And like it was just like me and my buddy were just like, we are like thinking to each other like, we just want to go eat. We just want to order food and like sit down and eat and go to the game, but we have to like wait for these 4 to 5 kids in front of us to like order first, and also like do this like talk down with like these older people. And then after long enough, you know, we order, we sit down, and like we're waiting, and we just see the waiter go by with like a piece of pizza, and it goes to like the other room where the 4 to 5 are. 5 minutes later, same thing, and it takes so long to go through that. And then finally we get ours, we eat, and by the time we get there, it's like the top of the third, bottom of the third, something like that. Bottom of the third, because it was home at bat. Just took forever to get there. Play nothing but Swan Lake. Oh, you could be more diabolical than that. You could play like the Gummy Bear song. I don't know. Gotta think more diabolically. But it was fun. It was a close game too. I got my... Oh wait, did I? No, I didn't. I was about to say I got my ice cream in the little baseball hat, right? Because you can get like your ice cream in the little plastic baseball hat, and you can eat and be like, ooh. And then you can wear the hat on top of your head like an idol with their little tiny hats. I didn't do that though. I got it in just like a cup. Because, like, getting the plastic hat was, like, an extra $5. I was like, I do not want it that badly. But you get your ice cream and it melts instantly because it's, like, 95 out the entire night. That's how the USSR felt. Oh, real? The moment they see it playing, they'll be like, oh, I've seen this before. Like, at the end of, one of the, Back to the Future movies, like, oh, I've seen this one before. Oh, it's not the end of it. That's like in the first Back to the Future, like midway through, when he's just looking at the TV and be like, oh, I've seen this before. What do you mean you've seen it before? This is brand new. I guess the only other thing I have is we're doing the Twin Peaks tomorrow. I don't know if I want to do something on Saturday, actually. I might instead play in that Idol Showdown tournament, and then also at the same time a VTuber friend of mine, Dante Daedalus, he's debuting a new model. And between those two things, it's like, man, I want to do one or both of those things. And I don't even know what like the plan for Saturday was going to be. It might have just been Blue Archive. It still might be. Maybe just pop in and play that for like an hour. Like Blue Archive or Factorio for like a really short stream. Something like that. Or do like what do I have actually? As far as what's gonna happen, like the next big game, it's confirmed by the way. It is gonna be Crosscode. That's gonna be this Sunday. It was gonna be the Sunday that just passed, but then I got sick, and so I was like, no, I can't do this. Yeah, it's finally Crosscode. We're gonna start on Sunday, and that's gonna be the Sunday-Thursday game. Oh, let me add that to my single-player games. I don't know why that wasn't already there. There we go. Amnesia the Bunker. I can remove that from my single-player games. Remove from single-player. There we go. As far as Saturday that goes, though, I don't know. Whatever, yeah, like I said, though, I think it'll just be like a really short, like an hour-long thing, if anything. And then I guess I said it in jest yesterday. Oh, by the way, thank you to everyone who takes clips of me. I always watch them like after the stream is done. I go and like look at stuff after stream is done. I see clips, and so I saw there were clips yesterday, and I watched them all, and I loved all of them. And one of them was I like the one where there was one where like there was the one where I was laughing at Streets Ahead. That was a really good one. I knew that like in the moment. I was like, that's a good bit. There was the one where I flip Ashlock and Fire Whistle's name. And I was like, that's pretty good. Why is this clip still going? And at the very end of it, it cuts off with, I want Horn to die to get her passive up. But it was just like, I said that so like aggressively almost that it made me laugh when I rewatched it. And the other one was, yeah, instead of saying Ashlock and Fire Whistle, I said Firelock and Ash Whistle. And like I kept watching the clip because the clip was longer, and I said I want Horn to die, and that like got me because I was like, why is this clip so long? I don't know what other like things I said were. Better than Ass Whistle. It is better than Ass Whistle. You're right. But the third one was I talked about like karaoke at the end of the month, and I do want to say that wasn't a bit. I think we're back on schedule now for Wednesdays. So I think I will confirm that. I think, assuming nothing else goes awry, I think we're going to do a karaoke again on Wednesday, the 30th. Not next Wednesday, the following Wednesday, at the end of the month. I've been excited about that. I've been, I think last time I said I had like a what's the word? A set list. And then I kind of like I didn't follow the set list, and I just like I did whatever. It's kind of, as I've learned between like last Zatsu, last free chat, and this free chat, it's good when you actually like have a list of like notes and you follow them. Cause like I'm not going every 5 minutes and I'm like going like what else ... It's like, oh, I can look over and be like, oh, here's another talking point, here's another talking point. Similarly for the karaoke, it's like I will have a set list and I will follow it, and it's all gonna be, I think I should apologize in advance. I don't know if I should apologize for advance, just heads up, it's all gonna be in Japanese. And I wanna go through all of it, and then like at the end, if time permitting and everything permitting, I'll do like viewer stuff. I've been singing the top a lot because that was one of the viewer ones from last time, right? And that's just in my YouTube like mix now that it will pop up every so often. I gotta give it a re-challenge after I like flubbed it really hard the first time because I didn't know how the beat went at all. And like I remember because I went back and I watched it a little while ago and I was like, damn, I am nowhere near how it actually sounds. Because I remember after I did that one, I immediately went and I like duoed it like the live version of it or whatever, and to actually like get the correct like pacing and everything. Watch Girls and Pants Right. Yes. I am currently 9 episodes in. I just got to Pravda and the main school where like they shoot at each other at the very end of the episode. Who's the best girl? Ooh. That's tough. Out of the main like 5 or 6 characters, it's Yukari. Easily. Yukari, easily. Like, she puts on little gloves when she's loading. I thought that was the most adorable thing ever because it reminded me of my gloves that I have in my pocket right now, right? And like, she's just so into tanks. Like, she's really passionate about it, and so she's like fantastic. On the whole, Yukari's still pretty high up there. She's like top 3, top 5. Here. Let's do a silly. I've never done this before. This is a rite of passage for every. Yo, oh my god, there's so many. Oh, this is the best worst idea you've ever had, Ace. Fuck it. Set this up. Perfect. Go back here. Pop. Nope, not Sensei. Get out of here. Oh, it's tiny. I can make it bigger, right? There we go. Oh, put it behind Sebihan. What are you doing? No, don't put it in Sebihan. Put it behind him. No. No, stop putting it in the folder. There we go. I seen the Spanish uniforms before, yeah. Are they in here, actually? There's so many of them, Jesus Christ. Are they in here? They would be down here at the... No, this isn't in... What order is this in? What order? Because this is Pravda. Is this alphabetical? Oh, it might be alphabetical, yeah. I don't think they're in here. I have seen it though. I know exactly what you're talking about. Flint's A. This is all based on the knowledge that I haven't actually seen a lot of these characters. Order does not matter in tiers because this is far too many to put in tiers. You know what I'm surprised at though? Watching Girls in Panzer. I've seen Duce. Duce is a non-character in the main anime. She might be in like an OVA. Like an OVA might go over their battle. But I was actually really surprised when it was just like, yeah, we beat Anzio school. They like set that up in like, because it was like they fought the, was it K first round? Was there yeah, because they fought Darjeeling as like the warm up, right? And then they fought K as their first round, and they won because where is she? Where is she? Is she an A? Yeah, because Orisa like was wiretapping, right? And then Italy just died in like the next round. It's the greatest history joke. They just like died. They just like didn't make that like a thing at all. Let's see. She's pretty solid. Like, this is solid. This is, good. Like, it's a tier list. You know how tier lists work. I don't know who you are. You're better than this is the barrier, the Alyssa barrier. Who the fuck goes over Italy? You do kind of just glance over that, yeah, because they just kind of like, you know, you have the entire Africa corpse with like Rommel and everything, and they just kind of like, that's kind of cool, and then after that they just like go into Italy and they just win pretty easily. I think Mika's S tier. I haven't gotten to this yet, but Mika feels like she'd be close to, she's pretty high up there, I think. That might be my Finaboo talking. My inner Finaboo might be telling me that, but yeah, she's a Finn too. I'll move her up. Maybe something like that. Main character, solidly mid. The French look cool. The French, like, these two, they seem neat. I'll say, who are like the good characters? Who's like, there's far too many characters that actually do this. Like, who is in the S tier? I haven't seen you two, so I can't say. You're pretty high up there. You're pretty good. You're pretty good. You're high up there. Duck, I'm really glad, by the way, that the series understands that Duck and Hippo are like the best teams in the main school outside of the main team. And that Turtle and what's the one with all the like the first years in it? Those two teams suck. I guess Turtle's alright. Turtle's alright. Momo's a much different character than I would have expected her to be. She's much more pathetic, if that's appropriate. Noriko feels like she'd be S tier. Because again, I think Duck Team is like top A tier. Oh, we haven't really been introduced to them yet. One of they're from the Automobile Club, right? The ones that like actually fix the tanks. S tier. Rosep seems cool. Duck Team is automatically A. Automobile Club is automatically A. There she is. She goes high up there. Main character. Wait a minute. What the fuck? WTF 2 me Preens? Where the Porch Tiger joins the group. The Porch Tiger is funny because it really did burst into flames during its initial test. No, I didn't get to that part then. Is that in the main series or is that an OVA? They have the initial set of tanks, and then they also have the tanks that are piloted by, S tier. She's voiced by Alayla Matara Utalainen, so of course she's S tier. And again, she's from Hippo Team. The most recent squad is the squad of like the Public Morals Committee, which is D tier. I don't like them, but they're the ones that like just joined. They just got their tank that they found in like the interior of the school ships, which is really cool. I like that that's like the setting, and it doesn't really like, it explains it like, oh, this is to better the you know, the kids, to better the whatever. But they don't really like touch on that. It's just like, yeah, that's just a thing. Something like that. I haven't gotten these characters yet either. I know they're like the delinquents of the school. I think Flint's A though, from what I've seen. Darjeeling's in there. Who are you? I think you're with Darjeeling, right? Darjeeling is B. She might be here. Like, Darjeeling is like the line of like, you must be this good of a character to pass. I would say that. Darjeeling is like the gold standard of like being at least a character. I will say though, I've seen the like shit post of like, what did Darjeeling do? All she does is stand around and drink tea. Which now that I've watched the series, yeah, for some reason, like she's in the first couple episodes is like the boss you have to fight and win against, and then every other episode when there's a battle going on, she's just there with like her lackey, and they're just this is her lackey. This one, they're just there like in like drinking tea on the battlefield or whatever. It's so funny. You want to bull? No, don't bully Darjeeling. She doesn't even look bullyable. Italians, Russians. Oh, Pepperoni seems cool. Pepperoni's like B tier. Also because her name's Pepperoni, and I think that's funny. Russians. Maho's like B tier, but I think Erica's like A tier. French. Other people, women, or like moms, I guess. Momo. Who is S tier? Who is S tier? D tier. S tier. All four of these ones. I haven't. These three are in the OP, but they haven't been introduced yet. I wonder, is this the one that gets burst into flames? I know these four are like OVA characters. These five, actually. I know she's with them too. They have they have characters on here twice, don't they? What the hell is this hairdo? I think that's my... You're like an A tier character. Yeah, I'd say. I think these are the S tier characters. Move K up. Move her up. Mika? These two go really well together. I can't imagine them like being separated. You're up there. Oh, who's the fourth one of theirs? They'd be in there. Move Naomi up. Naomi's really cool. She just jumped in the big tank and just... She was like a shark in the water. Memed and famous. You know you made it when you're memed. Like Exia and Slugs or whatever. WTF2 me brains. Dun dun. Dun dun. Yeah, move you down there. Move Erica up. Move Erica up again. The story of GP, but if war crimes were allowed... Oh, hell yeah! I mean, war crimes are kind of allowed. I guess not war crimes. It's wild that it's just like live action ammunition and everything, too. That it's just like... Like, you shouldn't be standing on top of the tank. What if you get shot? Oh, it's fine. I'm such a small target. They can barely ever hit me. And it's just like, okay, that's fine. It looks cool. Like, I can just not think about it. But it's so goofy, like, the fact that they're actually shooting at each other. What's up, Nukiashi? Life Album was actually live. It's so, like, crazy. The movie Fury? No, I have not. What is it about? I feel like I've heard of the movie Fury. I haven't seen you yet. I thought you were gonna be in like a main character, but I guess you're not. You're like you're probably there, right above Darjeeling, Totsugeki. Momo is surprisingly D tier. Rosip, I think, is low B? She's between the two Meeperines, I think. Based on nothing. This is more or less what the list, I think, looks like. No, I will not explain further. Yeah, looking at it, I guess Yukari is the number one. I thought I would end up writing like Mika or Kay higher, but I don't think I can in good like conscience do that. No, I can't in they're really good together, but I don't think Naomi beats Kay. Because Kay's the mastermind, Kay's the leader. Kay's the one that had the right of mind to say, you know, Alyssa, D tier Alyssa was cheating, so we'll try to like go even with them. The next 5 seconds. No one's gonna die on this, right? Probably shouldn't put that on then. Oh, yep. Yeah, oh, I'm really glad I asked. Oh. Oh, really glad I asked, yeah. Oh, good call, Ace. Holy shit. Yeah, luckily that never happens in Girls in Panzer because it's a TV show and they can just make that happen. But it's just like stuff like that is like that's what's going through my head sometimes. Where it's like every so often I think to myself like they're like in tanks, or like the reason Miho is like disgraced in the first place is because she jumped in the water and saved a tank that was drowning, and it's like, were they gonna just kill kids? Like, is there no like safeties to make it so the kids don't drown during your tank fight? Like, what the fuck? Like, I get in the anime like what's going on, but like part of me in the back of my head's like, what school would allow that to happen? It's because it's Senshato. It's because it's a womanly sport that will get you all the men or something like that. It's just more realistic. It's like one of those like trailers but real kind of things, right? Or Hogwarts. It is kind of like Hogwarts too. I mean, Hogwarts is like a magic school though, and they operate by magic rules, so that's fine. Like, people can die in magic school, that's fine. Because it's like a secret. It's like a private school, I guess is the way you can put it, right? Like, in Girls in Panzer, they don't seem like private schools. I guess they might kind of be, because like the way that schooling works in Japan, maybe. Where like maybe you have to like do your entrance exams and everything. Like, you can do whatever you want at a private school. You can kill a kid in a private school. I don't know. I've never been. But like in a public school, you have to like answer to someone typically. You would think. Like you can't just have a like. We're sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Windfall. Your son was in a tanking accident with 4 comrades, and they drowned and they died. Like, whoops. It's yeah. Yeah. Harry Potter is something. Makes me think of, I saw on HBO Max the other day, they have the oh, what is it? Fantastic Beasts. They have that new trilogy or whatever it's supposed to be, where it's like Dumbledore's backstory, which is something that I don't think anyone cares about. I guess it like is with Newt or whatever at first, who's like writing a book, but then it just turns into Dumbledore like backstory for the real big Harry Potter heads out there. I really liked but the thing that got me was like I saw the posters for it, because it shows like the posters for like, here are the movies, here's the characters in it, and I know the backstory of what happens, right? Because like real life stuff with Johnny Depp was like playing a character in the first two movies, which was like pretty big and important to the movies, and in it he looks terrible. He's got like weird white spiky hair and everything like that, and he's supposed to be like Dumbledore's like best friend or whatever. And then like they can't they had to recast him in the third one because of like the legal stuff, and they replace him with the great friend/lover, and they replace him with Mads Mikkelsen, who is fantastic. I love Mads Mikkelsen, and they just let Mads Mikkelsen just be Mads Mikkelsen, and I thought that was so fucked up. It's like, what do you mean? You made Johnny Depp have like weird white spiky hair and look all disgusting, and now you're just letting Mads just be Mads? That's not fair at all. Mads is an incredibly handsome man, and you're just letting him just do his thing? I feel so bad. Because it's like, what if I ever wanted to, if I was ever like sick in like a delirious state and I accidentally clicked on one of them and I was like, oh hell yeah, time to watch Mads Mikkelsen, I see Johnny Depp instead with like the white. It's like, why are these the same character? You didn't even like try. Obviously they probably did like something like, oh, use magic to disguise himself later, but it's just like, what the fuck? It's so goofy to me. Oh yeah, and there's that entire thing too with dealing with World War II. Just like it's just a mess from what I've seen. But it's one of those things where you just get interested and you like do a Wikipedia deep dive at like 2 a.m. You go wiki surfing just because you're just slightly interested, and you're just like, maybe, not really, but maybe. And it gets crazier and it gets crazier and it just keeps going. It's kind of like Yeek, where it's like, it's almost, but not really, but kind of. But Yeek has redeeming qualities. The Dumbledore recast was better. In like, you mean in like the main movies? I saw those when they came out, so I don't even know if I knew Dumbledore got recast. I don't know if I had like, I think I probably heard about it, but like at the time, being like a whatever middle schooler, whatever I was in like 2000. When did the movies come out? In the early 2000s? I guess elementary /middle schooler, whatever it'd be. Like I didn't know. I couldn't tell. Yeah, I know the original actor died. He was the same in the first two movies, I want to say, right? And then he unfortunately passed away and they had to replace him. I guess the big thing is, if I ever went back and watched them, I always hear that the Dumbledore in the first two movies is so like grandpa-esque and very just like jovial. And then the only thing I remember about the newer Dumbledore off the top of my head is, Harry, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? Dumbledore calmly asked. Which, if the original Dumbledore actor was still around, he might have actually done that a little bit more like calmly. Like that might have changed the trajectory of how he felt in some of the movies from then on, but I love that one. There's a flashback in the main movies where he's younger and people like, in 6 years Dumbledore went from this to this. Oh yeah, and like the when you compare like Fantastic Beasts Dumbledore versus like like normal Harry Potter Dumbledore, like the flashback did that, yeah. Really goofy. That's fine though. Whenever it comes to like flashbacks and things like that's like a CinemaSins level ding, where it's like, that's fine. That's a movie. I understand how movies work. That's whatever. It's the same as like I mentioned when I was talking about Chernobyl, where it was like everyone was talking with British accents and there was like a dude with a British haircut, and I was like, that took me out of it a little bit, but I understand how movies work. It's fine. It's fine. Ron. Oh yeah, Ron like gets butchered as a character, sort of, where he just becomes comic sidekick. And Hermione just absorbs some of Ron's better qualities from the books. It's such an asshole in so many ways. In the books and in the books too. I only read up to 5, I want to say. And then like I guess I stopped reading or something like that. That's like when I got into like middle school or like early high school, where it was like I don't earn pizza rewards. I don't earn Book It pizza rewards anymore. Or whatever the there was like that one program that you had to do in like elementary and middle school where it was like you would read the book and then like you could take a quiz on it and you could get points for it. Like they didn't do that anymore, and so I just stopped reading. And a complete dickhead in books the entire way through, or like does he reform himself? It's not an earned couple. Was it at the end of the books then? Was it really just they just mashed them all together? The whole time he's a dick. And yeah, at the end, so they just like mash them, like you guys are together, and you guys are together, and you guys are together, that kind of thing. Ah. Sicky sick boy. Sicky sick boy. Da-na-na-na-da. Sicky sick boy. Instead of Speedy Speed Boy, we get Sicky Sick Boy. Too perfect in the movies. Yeah, she's supposed to have like flaws. Her only character flaws are just like sexist stereotypes. Aw. And so they, instead of giving her like good flaws, they just remove them completely. She wants us to actually do our own homework. She wants us to not fail class. She wants us to like, you know, go to school and like be students. How terrible. I mean, when you're thinking about it from the perspective of like a young kid, I can kind of get that to a certain extent. It just depends on how the narration, like the authorial, not the authorial intent necessarily, but like Ron and Harry not liking her because she's bossy is one thing, because like she wants to do that, but like if the story itself doesn't like her for that, that's a different thing. A spew of things that they removed from the books for good removed from the movies for good reason. I assume some of it is just cut for time kind of a thing, but there might be other stuff. Again, I read them in like elementary school. I read them once. I did my, I want to say Hooked on Phonics or Scholastic, but I know it's neither of those things. Whatever that program is that you would read the book and you would like take the quiz on it. I also want to say SparkNotes. I know it's not that either. Oh, what? Society for the Promotion of Elfish Warfare. What? Wait, did they remove that from the movies? Did they not touch on that at all in the movies? I know that's like an entire thing, right? Yeah, I do remember that. It's just all kinds of... Harry Potter or something else. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for me for today. I think I'm going to call it here. That was a good chat. That was good. Oh, we just hit the 2-hour mark too. Nice. Wait. Oh, yeah. I just looked at the time, like my IRL time, and I was like, oh, yeah, 2-hour mark. Nice. And then I looked at OBS and I was like, live for 1 hour. I was like, wait, what? It's not just been an hour. And then I heard, oh, yeah, I had to restart OBS because it like did the crash thing a bit ago. That was good though, that was fun. I finally got my Chernobyl grievances out of the way, and now I can go watch episode 2 and hope that it gets better. I think that's the biggest thing that came out of this. That and the confirmation that Yeek is going to come before the end of 2024, hopefully. With that, I think, like I said, Twin Peaks haunted PS1 demo disc. Really, it's just a Twin Peaks like demo fan game thing. It's gonna be fun. That's tomorrow, and then Saturday, just something short for like an hour maybe. Might even change the time on that to start like an hour earlier or something. I don't know. Still, play that by ear. Maybe I'll know tomorrow. No idea though. And then Crosscode starting Sunday, and karaoke at the end of the month. We got some good stuff. Also, I wanna say I worked on. So before the stream, I come in today like I have a seedling of an idea that sprouted like over the course of the weekend. I have a seedling of an idea that sprouted over the course of the weekend for like a project I can do that may or may not be related to, you know, my birthday is next month, September 21st. And I had that little idea sprout into existence. And like today, I just started like brainstorming and like just the basic like sketches upon sketches, like the sketchiest sketches that are possible out there, like planning that out. And I don't know what happened. I just like did that for like 2 to 3 hours, and I looked up at one point. I was like, oh shit, I stream in an hour. What? Like I like double and triple taked. I was like, what? How long have I been doing this? Wait, what? I shouldn't say that, but I should, because I don't want to say what it is. I don't want to say what I was doing, but like I at the end of the day I do want to tease. So hopefully if things go well, I'll have more information about that by the end of the month, maybe. Yeah, that's it for me for today. leave you with that big question mark as to what the fuck Ace is talking about. You'll find out at my birthday at the absolute latest, maybe. One final thing. Yeah, what's up? Someone on Twitter accusing all male VTubers having flat butts. No. That doesn't even make sense. You can even see it a little bit, actually. Wow! That's like my back pocket, technically, but that's not even true. Especially because, like, honestly, I need to, like, work out more. I need to, like, I can. Like, I have the ability to, like, do it. I just don't have, like, a regimen. That's always been my thing. Is, like, I need to, like, do a regimen. But I'm a cardio bunny at heart. Like, at the very least, like, I don't know how to do muscle training, like lifting weights and anything like that, because I just don't know where to start with it. But I walk, like, around the airfield. I walk, like, at least 30 minutes to an hour every day. I've done, like, couch to 5K a little bit. I can only ever get halfway, and then, like my lungs just, like, give out effectively. But, like, I'm a cardio bunny, so if there is one thing of mine that is not flat, it's that. So I disagree. I mean, like, I wear baggy jeans, though, so you don't really see it that much, but... So that's just a bold-faced lie. You can even see it there. That's my pocket technically a little bit, but I don't know if it's the only one. There's got to be other guys with good butts. All I'm saying is like you gotta appreciate it. I appreciate it. My lower half is solid. Laughing at their own reference art. They were like boards. Oh yeah. I guess if you're looking at reference art, that's definitely something then. A lot of like standard reference art typically will draw them flat too. Especially because it just like it makes the silhouettes easier cuz male silhouettes typically are flat. At least as far as like the basically everything. Like male silhouettes are typically like triangle men that are just pretty flat, all things considered. They don't have curves or anything like that, typically. But yeah, that's all I got. Me and my 10 out of 10 ass. Calling it here for the night. I'm gonna leave you guys. Go wander off back into the void as you so desire. So with that, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you catch you next time. Peace out, everyone.